Trustees to order September 1st, 2020 at 7 p.m. Kelly, please call roll.
Trustee Garcia. Here. Trustee Malone.
Here.
Trustee O'Sullivan. Here. Trustee Andreessen.
Here.
Trustee Frost.
Here.
Trustee Vela.
Present.
And President Skillman.
Here, please stand for Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, our proclamation this month is it's Suicide Prevention Month for 2020. September 2020 is our month, and we have been really involved with that in the past few years. So just like to just proclaim today, September 1st, and the month of September as Suicide Prevention Month for the Village of Carpentersville. Thank you. We have no appointments tonight.
Correct.
Public comment?
None.
None? Okay. Moving right along. Our consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the trustee so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. So we have items A, B, C, D, and E tonight on the agenda. I'm looking. We have a motion by Trustee O'Sullivan and a second by Trustee Garcia. Roll call, please.
Trustee Malone.
Yes.
Trustee O'Sullivan. Yes. Trustee Andreessen.
Yes.
Trustee Frost.
Yes.
Trustee Vela.
Yes.
Trustee Garcia.
Yes.
And President Skillman.
Yes, motion carries to approve the consent agenda. Next item on our agenda is Manager Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President. A couple items before I turn it over to Public Works to give a couple updates. First thing, I just want to point out that item 2 on the consent agenda was realized and able to be done due to the savings that we had on the West Side MFT bid. Originally, it was anticipated that that project would take up the entire amount. That project came back significantly under budget, about $300,000, which we were able to extend some work onto the east side, which would have otherwise been put off. Those are restricted funds, and it's a great job by Public Works to be able to get that done this year when prices have been coming in low for these type of projects. The CARES Act, which was originally scheduled to have to be turned in this Friday, the county did meet yesterday and have extended the deadline for application to next Friday. That has been helpful. Several of the villages have been asking for clarifying questions on certain types of expenditures that can be expensed and reimbursed. I think many groups like us are trying to capture as much as we can possibly get, but there is no there's not an extremely clear line of things that are 100% acceptable versus 100% not. The different departments and I have been working with our attorneys, Lauterbach, and the different financial resources that are available to us to try to see what we can capture. Some of the things that we believe are qualifying expenses that we are going to start moving forward with. Public Works found a piece of equipment to attach to the vac truck that sanitizes the line as it comes out of the sewer, so that it would help reduce the transmission of any bacteria or illnesses, including COVID. For the jail, UV light cleaning kit for the cells to help kill. Public Works, each station, Public Works and police are now going to have a fogging machine, which sprays disinfectant that qualifies to kill COVID. Right now, we have one piece of equipment that is shared between the entire village, but this will give each facility its own cleaning piece of equipment for disinfecting cells, police cars, ambulances, those type of things. We are looking at converting what is the old clerk office, which is the corner one right when you, on the other side of this wall. As we anticipate as fall and winter rolls in and an uptick in COVID cases, building in a putting a satellite community development office for permitting, so that way the public is only limited to the first floor at the windows, and they're not moving about the building with the potential to spread COVID to employees, giving greater protection to the employees, as well as making it easier for our staff to clean at night and disinfect areas where the general public is allowed. And we are also heavily researching with all of our available resources the potential, and the language does seem to indicate we could purchase a full ambulance with the funds that are available. It's specifically written in medical transport is one of the things that's allowed. We're working closely with the attorneys and accountants to make sure it checks all the boxes. But if that is something that is allowed, we might be requesting the board to move forward with that. It would have to be built to respiratory and COVID specifications, HEPA filters, positive pressure, curtain between the transportation and the driver. But we're researching that, and several places around the country have reported specifications that the IRS has been allowing for that sort of reimbursement. So we're researching that one. But just wanted to put that on your radar. And we're looking forward to submitting our first round of attempting to recapture funds next week. We will have through October 15th to project future funds and find other things that we can try to capture, but we want to capture as much of the $2 million as we can possibly attempt to get. With that, if there's not any questions about that, I want to turn it over to Kevin Gray to give an update about.
Sorry.
Oh, yes.
So when you were talking about the funds from the west side project being used on the east side project, we determined what I call restricted funds. Explain to me what restricted.
So the motor fuel funds come from gas tax through the state of Illinois per capita. It has to be used on specific types of road maintenance projects. Public Works did put in through IDOT to request that those funds be allowed to be used for resurfacing. I don't know the exact roads. I'm sure Ed can give an update during his report. But those are restricted to just road repair, salt, so it's not operational expenses.
What they're used for as well as time?
They can be rolled over for some period.
There's certainly no shortage of need.
And you can use it within our fiscal year.
And the spray is that, Chief, is that the same that we use in the fire stations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same product, CDC approved.
A machine or whatever.
A follow-up question on the ambulance is, would this be replacing the existing ambulance, or is this additional?
For the purposes of CARES Act, it is a new ambulance. For terms of operation, about 25% of our calls are COVID or COVID-related responses. This ambulance would be dedicated to COVID or COVID-like symptoms and dispatched, if available, instead of right now we do closest to, but to highlight that. Over the lifetime of the equipment, when we phase out, we try to get back to 4, phasing out our oldest ambulance, which is what we've been doing, 3 operational and 1 reserve ambulance.
Okay.
Okay.
Kevin?
Can you hear me? Okay. As it says, this is emergency sanitary sewer interceptor repairs. Late last week, I was notified by the treasurer of the Lake Marion River Conservancy District that there was a pipe that is being eroded in the bottom of Lake Marion Creek. And as soon as I found that out, both myself, Ed, and Mark went out to the spot where the treasurer told us where this was at. And lo and behold, this is what we found. So what this is a 24-inch ductile iron sanitary sewer interceptor sewer, basically. It's a collector sewer that takes all the flows, about a third of the flows from, I would say, and I did a rough calculation, about a third of the flows east of the river goes through this pipe. Through Lake Marion, through Keith Andres Park, through Lake Marion, unincorporated Lake Marion, down Williams Road, into a larger interceptor sewer to our plant. Right now, it's flowing about a third full. So during rainstorms, we probably, I can almost guarantee it's at least half full when it may be even more, maybe 3/4. So it's a gravity sewer. It's not a force main or anything like that, so it's all strictly gravity. When we saw the pictures and visited the site, us three basically realized this is out of the scope of work of Public Works, because we don't have the equipment to do this, to even repair this, because it's such a large diameter pipe, as well as the access. And I'll kind of get into the access later on. So at that point, we pretty much, and this is kind of small, we pretty much kind of got our heads together and said, let's start calling contractors and see who's available, because a lot of people are working right now and who could come in and kind of assist with us. So basically what happened, and maybe I'll point to, nope, I'm not going to point to that one because it doesn't work. So basically these joints in this pipe, due to the erosion from the creek, actually were almost to the point where they were about to separate. So, and you can't see it in this picture, maybe in your presentation. The original construction, they put these tiebacks in to kind of hold it in place, and you can see that those really didn't work. To make matters worse, we had no support on the north side of the pipe, which is the left-hand side of the picture. And then on the right side, we had all this overburden and natural springs flowing kind of into the pipe. So all this weight of the wet dirt and mud was sitting on the one side of the pipe. So we began to monitor the pipe, and then came in on Monday morning, looked at it again, and one other joint was where it was about an inch separated. It had separated to about 3 inches. So that's when we really needed to get somebody in here like ASAP. So we met a contractor in the afternoon. They said they can come first thing in the morning, and that's pretty much how we proceeded. We did reach out to and I'll talk about this later, we did reach out to the Army Corps. We're in the process of getting a permit for the work. It will be an after-the-fact permit. So we're good there. I did reach out to the Dundee Township Highway Department and notify them that we were going to be doing the project, because we are going to be we're loading equipment and gravel and other materials off of there right away, basically, to access this area. This is another area. This one's not as severe. Everything's fine with the pipe. It's actually kind of in the creek, and that's how it was constructed. But this one just needs to be armored, so we'll probably just put some filter fabric down, some bedding stone, and some riprap, and re-armor the pipe. So this one is nothing compared to the other one that you just saw. These are the existing conditions down there, so you can see that it's severely eroded down there. Recently, the Lake Marion River Conservancy District actually did a lot of tree clearing down there. I visited the site about 4 or 5 years ago and walked it when I walked Keith Andres to get our IEPA 319 grant, and there was 24 to 36-inch oak trees down in this creek. And they, I believe the gentleman told me they spent about $20,000 removing all that debris. So I don't know if that contributed to the erosion, having all these trees down there, pushing everything to the side. But you can see it's severely eroded. Here's the location. It's on, help me out, Old Farm Road. So I wish this thing doesn't show up on the screen.
West of Skyline.
Yeah, so that's Skyline right there. On the right-hand side is actually Keith Andres in the ravine, and then to everything to the west, where the two blue, red stars are, that's unincorporated Lake Marion. So that's
where the lake used to be?
That's where the lake used to be, correct.
Everybody knows.
So the yellow is where we're kind of accessing the site, which was the old beach access. If anybody's familiar with that, that was the access, the entrance to the beach area. So the left-hand red star is the major one. The right hand is the exposed pipe. This is the access, and we did, Lake Marion granted permission for us to use this as access. It kind of worked out perfect because this was also an area that they just tree cleared, so we actually can get heavy machinery back there. And you can see how, I mean, it's pretty steep. It's about 82 feet of fall from the roadway down to where we're making the repair. And so this morning is what you see, what we did right here, or what the contractor did. We saw that the two joints were kind of pushed out, about ready to fail. They were able to pull the pipe back horizontally about 3 to 4 feet, and it actually dropped down about a foot. So you can see in the right-hand picture, there's some H piles. Those are like steel I-beams. You drive those in. We're going to weld the support, and you'll see later on. So they're able to lift that pipe back up and support it. Let me out, Kevin.
So everything else is good? You walked it? You guys?
Yeah, as far as, there it goes. As far as our the interceptor sewer, yes. So basically, that's the contractor supporting it, raising it up, and then on the bottom left, that's the contractor welding that other steel I-beam to the other I-beams. And then on the bottom right is a bell joint repair clamp. We contacted our suppliers, and all three of them had one. Not many people stock 24-inch ductile iron bell joint, so we have 3 on order, and I believe they're coming out of Arkansas. So it's about 2-day lead time to get those. We have about 4 joints that we want to put that clamp on, so we're just going to have to sit tight and wait until that the materials get in. So next steps, what we're going to do is, this is basically kind of a detail. I'll kind of go on to the next one. So we want to install those 3 to 4 additional bell clamps. We want to install sheet piling along the pipe for support. We're going to backfill it and then install riprap adjacent to the sheet pile to kind of armor that wall where that pipe was exposed. We're going to use the same riprap that we just used in Keith Andres. I actually contacted that contractor to get the supplier where they got that riprap. And then once that's all done, then we're going to install native seed and blanket basically to control any additional erosion that may have occurred wherever we disturb basically. And then we'll apply for a after the fact Army Corps permit.
Okay, great.
That's all I have.
The one thing that we were very thankful for, it did not breach. We did go out and do water testing, and which could result in greater EPA issues, including fines. So I was out there last night with Mark and Kevin and some of their guys. They were shoring it up in anticipation of the rains last night because it had bent even further since we were out there last week. But it was a good thing that definitely saved a lot of paperwork that it didn't breach.
Yeah, I would anticipate, because the manhole, there's a manhole at the bottom of the ravine right when you first access a site. The next manhole upstream is 448 feet away, and you're probably talking a 6-inch pump. To get a 6-inch pump meandered over there, all the pipe, if it would have breached, you're probably looking at $30,000 to $40,000 just in bypass pumping, and we were able to save that. Sanitary sewer. This is a sanitary sewer.
Nope, that's what he said.
That's a home run.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I
good.
feel a lot better today than I did over the weekend.
We all do. Thank you. We could sleep better. So, thank you, Kevin. Was another presentation you have?
Ed's going to just give a brief update on some of the capital projects. He had sent out an email last week.
Yeah.
If there are any questions, and just a brief update running through that.
I'm going to scooch over so I'm not talking in the back of Carrie's head. Yeah, I'm just going to run through the projects real quick. Huntley Road reconstruction, that's the joint project between us and West Dundee. That is substantially complete. The only thing we're looking to do additionally there is there's a pedestrian flashing beacon at Inlet, and it's on the mast arms. I've gotten some complaints that vehicles they don't see it flashing, and pedestrians are worried that the cars zoom through there. And I actually watched a couple, so I've seen that happen. So we're talking with IDOT, and hopefully we can get some more heads on there, and that would be also hopefully eligible for the grant funding. So we'd have to pay 20% of that retro fit. 31 Main Street, the retaining walls are complete. Traffic is shifted on the southbound 31 on the new pavement, and they're working on the southbound lanes of 31. And work will begin here on eastbound Main Street and the hill to follow here shortly. They're going to wrap all the concrete work and start working on the hill. And then there's some other little corrective work at the bottom of the hill they have to do, and they'll do that at the same time. And then there's some little storm sewer laterals they have to do as well, and those are getting picked up at the same time before they do the road work. Contractor is repeatedly committing to being done at the end of October. November 1st is the date. They're on schedule. They're actually a little bit ahead of schedule. We had a meeting today, and they're confident that should not be a problem. Keith Andres Park. That project is substantially complete. Really, it's just watching the plantings. Takes a good 2 or 3 years for everything to grow in good. We're on a 3-year maintenance plan with that, and then we'll have to go into a separate contract for the remaining 7 years for a 10-year plan, and that's part of the grant agreement that we have to do that.
Thank you for keeping up on the graffiti.
Yeah, we're
down
trying.
there. Do we have a plan that we don't want to discuss on TV? But we're going to get those people that are graffitiing our pipes every weekend.
Hopefully. Sleepy Creek Stream Project, restoration project. This is a little creek in Newport Cove. The design's complete. We held a public information meeting for the residents affected in July. The plans have been submitted to the Army Corps for a permit. Construction should hopefully start shortly, maybe even this fall. It's a 3-week process to get the work done, with the plugs going in next spring. So they'll do the restoration work this fall, and then the plantings will be next spring. The 2020 CDBG resurfacing project is complete. Striping was put down, and we just submitted for reimbursement on that. So that project is done. The 2020 West Side, that's the project that came in $330,000 under budget. Concrete work is done. Grinding is done, and they're currently tomorrow will be their 3rd day of paving, hopefully a few more days, and then that'll be wrapped up. Bolts Road, that's the other Fed-funded project we have through the Kane Kendall Council of Mayors with STP funds. The pre-final plans have been sent to IDOT for approval. It's kind of been done for a while, but we're kind of sitting on it because of Long Meadow project that's a little bit behind. They're finally underway. We didn't want to cut that project loose until they were at least get one of the eastbound or westbound legs done, so we can transfer the traffic that access the asphalt pit and the gravel pit on that, so they're not trying to use Bolts Road while we're constructing it. So we're hoping that they're moving far enough along that we could move forward with our January letting, get that out to bid, and you're talking about 3 months or so to get the contracts executed. So hopefully early summer we're started, and they've got some pavement down on Long Meadow to transfer that traffic onto.
So right now, the road is closed past, Amarillo going west?
Correct.
Road.
Yeah, they've already got the
for how
roundabout
long?
cut out, curb and gutters in, all that.
Oh, okay, that's for us. Not
That's
Long
in
Meadow.
that's in township. That's Bolts Road, but it's a township section.
Okay.
Yeah. Our project starts where the township ends and goes all the way to Route 25. We're just shy of Route 25.
Driving over there a lot, obviously, Kevin and I have been talking about dust and dirt, and I know they're doing the best they can. And no homeowners have complained unless staff has taken some complaints, but
I haven't received any.
the question I have is the berm. I mean, is that it?
No, they're not done yet.
It's going to be a little higher with trees on it, if I remember the plan for Long Meadow.
Yeah, they're building that as they go, and then they're going to probably put 4 to 5 inches of topsoil and then all the plantings on there. So
But they'll never see those cars, really.
Uh,
Lots of
if-
trucks, maybe.
if you just pull over, look on Bulls Road, and you see how low that goes down. The only time they'll really see it is the last 100 feet or so of the east side where it has to meet grade at Route 25. Right. Yeah.
We had a 12-inch water main, a 12-inch cast iron water main that extended from Amarillo over to Oxford, and they had to relocate it that 1,600 feet of 12-inch ductile iron pipe at their cost.
Wow.
So they took out 1,600 feet of main from 1972.
You got new stuff. Good deal.
Bless you.
Bless you.
So that's Bolts Road. The new MFT East Side that we picked up 4 streets that were deferred from the Capital East Side resurfacing project. So we're going to do 4 Windsway, Riverside Drive, Bristol Court, and Bristol and Berkshire Court. That project was awarded by the village, and the I believe I'm drawing a blank here. I'm sorry. Huh? No. So that project's pretty much ready to go. 2020 MFT sidewalk repair, that's the cutting project. We're going to concentrate areas of Winchester Glen, southern portion of Old Town, and the Kimball Farm subdivision. And then there's always a few areas that pop up, we get complaints, and we'll hit those too. The MFT sidewalk repair removal program, we took that 25,000 and put it into the east side resurfacing project, and just going to take care of the sidewalk as part of that project. Wakefield drainage plans were reviewed. Those plans were revised to eliminate the need for the portion of the school's right-of-way. We could not negotiate that parcel that was needed, so the basin was downsized a little bit. So we're currently reviewing those plans. We'll still be able to provide the desired stormwater detention that's needed. We're still working. I believe Kevin could probably fill a little bit on this, but we're still looking to secure the property from the church. I think we're just looking for a signature or something. So hopefully that'll get wrapped up. Once that's done, the project will hopefully be out to bid maybe by the end of the year. And then the last project will be the Kings Amarillo drainage improvement. Staff is reviewing those pre-final plans, and we're currently negotiating with the various property owners for the needed easements to construct that project.
Okay,
Any
awesome.
questions?
Questions?
Have you got any update on when the utilities will be buried on Lincoln as part of that overall project?
Who lives
On Lincoln.
Oh, you live there? Yeah, okay.
What utility's got to be buried on Lincoln?
Utilities are supposed to be buried as part of that.
Everything that's going to be buried is buried. It's done. It was just the intersection.
They're not coming down by you.
Right.
You will use telephone poles and put the sidewalk down, but we're going to bury those utilities.
No.
Anywhere where ComEd relocated it, part of, they have to, they're required to relocate those poles. We were instructed just to bury the intersection of Main and Lincoln and the intersection of 31 Lincoln and then Main Street Hill.
I thought there were those first 5 or 6 telephone poles that put the utilities on were going to be buried.
No. But in that area, that you brought it up, restoration, those weeds and temporary restoration that was completed, we're trying to get them to knock that down again. Now that it's September 1st, we can do the permanent restoration. So I'm hopefully going to get a schedule from Del Toro, which is the subcontractor for Plody. Hopefully they'll be in actually next week to start removing that soil, putting in fresh topsoil, and then sod to get the permanent improvements wrapped up on Lincoln, Maine, and then the areas of Route 31 that they can do now. So
Okay. Anybody else? Questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a question, Eric.
Yes.
Applications for commissions, anything? Kevin, have you seen anything?
So we have received, I want to say two or three inquiries, so it is getting out there.
Okay.
One of the members was someone currently on Police and Fire Board of Commissioners who was asking if they could also be on the pension board. The response that we're trying to limit people to one commission to spread it out, but we did have two other people who
Yeah.
applied. We've been promoting it. It's on the main page of our website, social media, Dundee news groups have been promoting it. We sent it to the Kane County Connects, Herald, and other groups, but nobody ran with it. We're going to try to get some more. And once we get a handful, we'll be able to review and suggest some names for you.
Yeah, and just speaking of commissions, I'd like to give a shout out to Mr. Moorhead. Russ Moorhead resigned. He's moving to Kansas, somewhere in Kansas, from Carpentersville. He's lived here for how many years, Chief? Probably 30 or 40 years.
He helped start the Boys and Girls Club too.
Yes, he was instrumental and with the Boys and Girls Club, and he was a trustee here for a long time and very involved in the village. So we're going to miss him, but he is happily moving away closer to his grandkids. So thank you, Mr. Moorhead. But we'll be looking to replace his position soon too. Okay, is that it? We covered everything? We have no old business. Next, new business, none?
None.
Trustee reports tonight. Trustee Andreessen.
I don't have anything tonight.
Okay, Trustee Vela.
Just want to say thank you to Public Works Department. Thank you for all your hard work. We value everything that you guys do. You've been very busy. I see the vehicles out there, so thanks again. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a busy, dry summer for them. Getting a lot done. Trustee Malone.
I have nothing tonight.
Trustee Frost.
I attended a STARCOM meeting, and I would like to send my remarks over to Chief Schilling on the STARCOM meeting that we had.
Oh, sorry, okay.
So the StarCom project is moving on schedule. All the permits for the above ground, underground work have been approved. So we're moving forward with that infrastructure. Structural analysis for the Clock County Tower, we're adding additional new.
Sorry. The structural analysis for the Quadcom Tower to remove the old antennas and put the new antennas has passed, which is a huge cost savings for us if it wouldn't have passed. The dispatch center has started their remodeling project and is anticipated to be moving into their new seats and new equipment either at the end of September or early October. All of the Motorola equipment for the tower sites has been shipped to a Motorola location where it is being assembled and tested, and then it will be shipped to us for final assembly here. And then all of the radios have been shipped to, or ready to be shipped to Chicago Communications next month, so they'll be able to install all the software and templates. So everything's going very well.
Great, thank you. Anybody have any questions for Chief or Trustee Frost on that?
No, I have some other
Trustee
stuff.
Garcia.
It should start, construction should start early this month. They've been waiting for all the parts and pieces to come in, and they don't start them until they're fully equipped with all the accessories and everything else that goes on to the construction. So I'm still anticipating end of November-ish for final inspection and delivery.
Great. Thanks, Chief. Trustee Frost.
All the folks down that were affected by Hurricane Laura, thoughts and prayers go out to them. It was quite devastating. And everything that's going on up in Kenosha, that's just a situation that seems to be being dealt with. Thanks to Public Works for that update and all your updates and all your communication. Truly appreciate all that. means a lot to get that kind of communication from our departments. And that's it.
Thank you. Trustee Garcia.
Yeah, I had spoke with manager Johnson for a little bit about the Buick, 36 Buick for the Carpentersville police. I think it's just appropriate that we postpone it for a safer time. We don't want to expose nobody or spread anything from us out there. I know it's in the middle of nowhere, but who knows? We gotta go to gas stations and 3 or 4 different states. So we're gonna hold it until it's safer. We have been having some conversations with Marwan from Spotted Fox. We're going to do one so we can restore this vehicle back to its glory days. So we can have something nice to remember all our police officers, all the people that have served our police department, and that keep us safe. So just stay tuned. Hopefully we can do this soon. I was very excited, but somebody didn't want it to happen.
All right, thank you. Trustee O'Sullivan.
Great work by Public Works on that sewer. That was a great catch there. Making sure that didn't get in like a worse situation. Rivers. Tomorrow morning we'll be asking the Carpentersville Rotary Club if they want to participate in another Fox River cleanup as part of the Friends of the Fox September 19th overall effort up and down the Fox River. So we may be appealing to Carpentersville Today, our website, to promote that a little bit, see if we get some more broader public participation. This is if anybody that wants to pitch in and help. Certainly, we'll try to helping hands if want to pitch in. We ask for those power to help with that effort. As much community development as we can. Other than that, just a reminder that if you want to protest, that's okay, but violence is out. That's not the American way to do things. If you want to express yourself, you're free to do so peacefully, in great tradition of Dr. King and Mahatma Gandhi, but where you cross that line is where you lose or express yourself violently. That is not acceptable, and that is not the way we express ourselves. If you want to affect change, go to the ballot box. That's how we affect change. That's your chance in November to do it peacefully.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'd like to echo Public Works. Thank you, guys. Good catch by our friend. Do we know her? Him? He's a treasury of the water board, or?
Lake Marion River Conservancy District.
Okay, so he's your friend now, because he saved us and saved you. So we need to inspect that, though, so maybe we need to put that on our list to inspect for now on, or something, somehow, so we don't ever happen again in our lifetimes, or anybody's lifetime. Anyways, talking about the river, I wanted to talk about the bridge someday that's going over the river by Otto. So someday we need to have a discussion, and I think maybe start with staff. I'll talk to Manager Johnson and have them talk about it a little bit, but it's something that we might need to purchase, I believe, from Otto or whoever owns it. So,
I think the railroad owns it.
so we need to,
Oh.
right, so we need to figure it out with our attorneys maybe, because I know there's TIF money in that area that maybe we could use, or figure it out. But there's nothing we can do right now, and I'm tired of looking at it every time I drive over the Fox River. Which is,
Railroad claims no ownership to it, but they say if you scrap it, they want the value of that scrap steel. So
well, it depends on, the word is who owns what side of the bridge, what side, the land on each side of the bridge. That's, we'll see what happens, so.
President Skillman, we could probably begin with the title search if that was the board's direction.
Yeah, that would be, you guys all in favor of that, I believe.
you want to start with Mr. Roser on that, because he's done some extensive work on him. The court
to get past that brick wall and do something about it. So, and this board can make it happen, so I know you guys can help get this done.
You
So-
want to just knock it down, or you want to put a walking bridge in
Well, we
its
need to
place?
talk about it, so.
I think that would be cool.
We need to get it
Walking
out of the
bridge.
water, because we're gonna take the dam out, as Kevin knows, and Mr. Engineer, and knows it's gonna be a problem when we let that loose, that dam. And we're just gonna have another dam then, in Old Town. So it's something that we need to act on, I believe, as our board here, and be part of it, and it's a good start, and John's correct. I know a lot of the history, but I don't wanna talk about it right now. But I think we need to move on it, though. And everything else is moving pretty well. Huntley Square, and we need to figure out the Dominics, and we have some people that we're talking to, and Ben will give us an update maybe in another month or so at our next month's board meeting, maybe in early October. We can get a report on where we're at with some other properties too. So things are good in Carpentersville, so I hear all over when I go places, you guys, our reputation has changed. So we can all be proud of that, and staff, all the residents. It's been a long time. I've lived here 58 years now. I just had my birthday. And people that have lived here a long time know about our town and where it's come and where we've been. So everything is moving in a positive direction, and it's because of everybody in the room here. So it's pretty cool, actually, the stuff I hear. It's exciting, I'm proud, I'm not hanging my head and hiding anymore, you know what I mean? Oh, no, I wear that mask, when it's clean. This is a clean one I found. Someone gave us. But, yeah, so it's fun. It's awesome. I go to golf outings. I go to a lot of places, and, chamber people, we've grown, and we're leading this area, so it's pretty cool, so. Excuse me? Add to that? Oh, okay, thank you.
We kind of had with the AACA Anti-Automobile Club of America, we had 3 rounds that had started in Carpentersville. The first one we had 2 or 3 active vehicles. The last one we had 3 Packards, 2 Rolls Royce, about 5 or 6 Cadillacs, delinquents. But what I'm trying to say is the quality of vehicles coming to these tours is increasing tremendously. One of the Packards that was here last weekend, $200,000. They never thought about coming to Carpentersville. So whatever we're doing, I think we all as a team are doing right. They're happy to come. We have one coming in October that promised to bring really antique cars, including a Hispano Suiza, one, $7 million car, just to drive by our town. So as soon as I get the route, I'll give it to you guys. We'll post it.
We have Chief Gilmore there, security.
So people can see.
Forfeiture.
All right, well, thank you.
John, I got one more thing.
Yeah. Yes.
I know I've been mentioning about the census. We still need to get out. I think we have another month or 2. Is it? I think at least another month. It's important, how important it is. And I also had a conversation with Senator Castro regarding, via text, regarding the COVID testing. It sounds like it's moving forward. Still working on a site, but did she talk to you, Eric, or?
Not recently, but a couple weeks
Okay.
ago. I know they
Yeah.
were waiting for the governor's office to, or Illinois Department of Health, one of them was holding it up.
There's a lot going
Yeah,
on.
we're still, she indicated that we were moving
band.
forward, and it's going to happen, so that'll be a good thing for Carpentersville, too.
We are moving forward. That testing site will be most likely in effect at Walmart here in Lake Marion next week, most likely starting on the 9th, going up to Sunday. So we're just waiting for things to be finalized, and it will be announced. So it's coming to us most likely next week.
One more question, if I may. Do we have any results from the last 2 COVID test events?
The two in town each had about 400 participants, but we didn't get a positivity rate. It was just number of cars. The third one, was it the third? Or there was a third one that was that last Friday. It was the lowest of the three, and I think it was about 280 people came through on the last one. But that mobile spot was hitting around the county, about 400 people per day.
But we got no positive, no negative.
We didn't get result or
all
percentages.
private. It's all HIPAA, you know, so, I mean, I went through it just for, you know, fun, so, it wasn't fun.
Was it fun? Yeah.
No, I have a sinus problem. So. Anyways, okay, so, enough on that stuff. We have no closed session tonight. I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Trustee Frost. Second, Trustee Garcia, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?